there's a lot of misconceptions, and is there some advice on clearing up some of those misconceptions about life insurance, especially since we're bringing awareness during this month? Is there some misconceptions about life insurance that we want to clear up for some of our listeners?
Well, I think I would say the biggest misconceptions that is the importance of it and the cost of it, right? Those are the two. I mean, that's it. If you felt like something was super important, it really wouldn't matter how much it cost. But if you don't have that driver that says, this is really, like we say, hey, it's not you that's going to reap the benefit of this. It's the people you leave behind, which is where your quote of love insurance comes from. If you don't have anybody to love, I have a really hard time selling you any insurance because you will be gone. And at that point, nothing matters. So,
and it's a guarantee, right? Death it's not if it happens, it's when it happens, right? So it's a guarantee where your car insurance, everyone has it, but we just might maybe use that, right? Where death is guaranteed.
Yeah. So I think that one of the misconceptions of that product in general, as far as a whole life final expense product, is that I've got some time before I have to deal with that. I've got some time. And number one, it's only going to get more expensive every day that goes by, right? And number two, every one of those days brings upon a day that you don't know if you're going to see the end of it. And that's just a fact of the life that we live. And the life insurance business has kind of taught me that, or allowed me to accept that more. So I think a lot of people kick that can down the road. Like you said, Lindsay, if you ask anybody with some common sense, hey, would you like to have your funeral planned so your kids don't have to do that? And even better, would you like to have it paid for?
Yes.
I don't know we've never found the one that says no, right? Like, of course, that's a common sense, logical question. Of course I would. But again, 2/3 of those people have not gone down there to do that, have not set back the funds, or even better, paid a monthly premium to make sure the savings account is immediately there upon a passing. So just not understanding the end of life can be closer than you think is one of the things.
Right.
And then I think really after that, it's the awareness. I think a lot of people believe it's insurance is too expensive or it doesn't matter enough, but you really haven't looked at what that could be, right? There's many different kinds of insurances, and there's many valuable reasons as to why somebody would buy that, right? We've talked about the funeral plan and the fact that now you're paying for your funeral with tax-free benefit, and you didn't have to pay all that at once if you were to go down to the funeral home and write them a big old check for $15,000. That again, remind you, we die $70,000 in debt. If a prepaid funeral goes as one of those debts, you have to pay the rest of that off in most cases.
Right.
An insurance plan immediately paying out.
Well, one of the other misconceptions, and I thought this was a crazy one. Okay. So men versus women. All right. Interesting fact. Who, David, do you think is more likely to have coverage or protected their family? The women or the men?
Well, I mean, I'll just take it, a little old school thinking. Of course, the man would. The man's out there working. The man's providing for the family.
See, I wouldn't, because sometimes men can be stubborn about those things. I figured women being the nurturer, the one, mama bear of the house, taking care of this, taking care of that, making sure all the affairs are in order, that women, but actually men are more likely to have protection in place for their families than women are, which that actually blew me away.
Cheaper. So, right?
Women are cheaper.
I think that's an old school method of thinking. I said what I said in a jokingly manner, because to think that it's only the man out there that's providing monetarily for the family, that's fake news these days. I mean, I don't know the numbers and haven't looked it up, but most households now, at least especially in mid-America, is dual working households. Mom and dad both are bringing money into the home. And I know many, many cases where the female is the breadwinner because that's what you're looking at. Why buy life insurance? What is life insurance good for? It's there to help you live life after maybe an important loved life is gone, right?
Right. Absolutely.